Hey America, how you doing today? So I'm out running Uber tonight. Granted it's morning, but I was out running Uber, and I picked up some young kids with their mom and was taking them to a Whataburger. And for some reason my navigation messed up. It was an issue with the whole cell phone towers or whatever, and I couldn't get the address that I needed to go to. So I asked them, I said, well, where y'all going? They said, oh, we're going to Whataburger. And I was like, and she couldn't remember the street or the address, so I'm like, all right, let me look it up. And she goes, it's over by Lone Star. I don't know, some of y'all aren't from around here. We have what they call a Lone Star College system. It's over by Sam Houston State Woodlands. And I knew where it was because I've gone back to school, and that's where I'm going. And I was like, oh, so you're off College Park Drive? And she goes, yeah, College Park Doctor. Really? Doctor? Is this what we're teaching our kids? I mean, I understand DR stands for doctor, but when you're talking about streets, it is not doctor, it's drive. What happened to geography? Are we not teaching that in school? Are we not teaching how to use maps? I mean, I get we have Google and we have all these, things on your phone you can use, and apps, and you've got Waze, and hey, even Uber has their own navigation system. Granted, it's Google, but it's their own setup. It's not as easy to use, but I just was blown away. She was maybe 15, 16, 17, I don't know. She was young. But the fact that kids today don't even know DR when you're talking about a street is drive, it just blows my mind. I mean, I understand I wasn't the greatest in school, and I'm still not the greatest in school, but I'm at least trying, I have to say. But I knew that. I mean, we were taught that from the time we were young. Circle, CR, court, CT, street, ST. I mean, that's things most people should know. She didn't. I just was blown away by that. Anyways, another thing I wanted to talk about is I'm taking psychology and the law. And we had to watch 2 videos for a take-home test. And the first one was the asylum, and the second one was the return, or the released. I'm sorry, the released. And this is done by Frontline PBS. If you get a chance, look at them. Watch them. They're pretty good. What they talk about is how back in the 60s, the mental asylums were all shut down. And this ended up leading to an influx of mentally ill getting released. And they were, because they didn't have medications back then, they eventually got picked up by the police because they became a nuisance or got in trouble in some way, shape, or form. Streaking, as they said in the class, defecating in the streets, not very, very minor stuff. And because there were no asylums to put them in, no hospitals, they ended up going to prison, and because prison can't deny you the right to entry like a hospital can, it became the new norm. So now we've got tons of people in the criminal justice system, jails, prisons, that don't belong there. They're mental cases, and these prisons aren't really meant for that. They're not designed to house these people. Now, there's some people out there that have been doing some good work, and they will take these people in when they get released from jail or prison, and they'll help them stay on their meds, and you know, but they have restrictions too, and if they don't meet those restrictions, they're just kicked out, which eventually leads to them being back in prison. And it just reminds me so much of a couple of places I've seen. My grandmother is in a senior living, I guess you could say, but it's really, it's kind of like apartments, and then they have people there that come in and they help monitor your medicines. They'll come in, help clean up your apartment. They'll help, you know, do your laundry, things like that. Downstairs, they have a little mini bar where you can, you know, have social hour. They have bingo games. They have kind of like a mini restaurant. It's free to them because it's part of their deal. It costs $10 per person if you come to visit them, but you can go in and select whatever you want off the menu. So sometimes they have a buffet. They have, you know, special occasions for holidays and things like that they'll allow you to, you know, bring family or whatever, and you can eat dinner with them, and they're free to come and go as they please. They're paying for it. It's quite costly, but you know, they can leave when they need to. They do have to sign out, let them know where they're going, just in case something happens. And then they can go. They have a parking garage for them to have their cars and such. It's a really neat place, and if it was cheap enough, I'd honestly live there, take my family and go. It's an awesome place, in my opinion. And then I'm reminded of back when I was a kid, my aunt worked for the Salvation Army, for the Women's Crisis Center downtown Houston. She had an apartment there, so we'd stay there. She was a counselor. She helped women. There were lots of kids that were with these women. So I had kids to play with. We did the Secret Santa. It was a good thing, and it was apartments, and it was a kind of like a little gated apartment building with offices on the first floor. Excuse me, it's early, and I'm just now getting home. So, I just think that after you watch the video, especially after you watch the Released, you kind of realize that these guys, they're not needing maximum security. They're not needing to be put in a lockdown type situation. A lot of times they just need someone to help them keep on their meds, and they need a good steady job and someone to just check on them, monitor them, and something like what my grandmother has, but with maybe a gate. You know, or you could even have a gated community where, you know, it's houses or a number of apartments, and they have to check in and out before they leave and have to go through a gate. And if they don't return, then, you know, the police get called, or, you know, something along the lines. But where they're monitored, where they can be, you know, made sure that they're on their meds. Because what seemed to happen in the video was they would get released from prison, and then they go to halfway houses, or they go to homeless shelters, and nobody would really help them with their meds. The halfway house was decent. They would help them out, but they could only keep them there for so long. And then they were on their own, and they would help them get, you know, a job and get back in place. But once, you know, they got a job, they forget to take their meds, or they determine, hey, I don't want it. Because what's the most common cause is that they don't even really believe that they have a mental issue, but they know that when they're off their meds they have issues, but they just think it's just one of those things. So, and these are some schizophrenia, you know, bipolar, which all these are treatable, and they can live normal lives, but they have to be monitored. And if they don't, then they fall off their meds, and they end up, you know, doing something that gets them put in jail. And it's not really worth it. It costs taxpayers lots of money, and you know, they're begging for their life. They're begging for freedom, and so they end up getting worse. And that's not what they need. They need to be able to move out and become part of society, but have that monitor system to keep them on track. And, you know, it'd be awesome if there were some people out there that had money that could donate, that, you know, if we could create a donation system and then have it where it was all done under donations and not, you know, funded by the taxpayers or cost them bukus of money. You know, these people really need help. And if we had enough money coming in from all over the United States, we could have some in every city. And, you know, I've thought about this quite a bit, and how we could use this for homeless shelters as well. You know, or instead of homeless shelters, the homeless, we gather them up, we get them off the streets, we bring them in, we give them a place, we help them find a job, we give them a chance to get on their feet, and then and then they can, once they got the money coming in and they can afford a place, then we ship them out. But we get them back on their feet. If they need medication, we can get them their medication. And just get these people off the street. There's no need for any of this. And, you know, there's people that think that, you know, it's okay. Let them be. Let them do what they want. I mean, look at San Francisco. There's reports of just devastation of homeless after homeless, and California's just falling apart, but yet they feel like they're the greatest. And I'm not, you know, I come from Texas. We have great pride in our state. And, you know, a lot of people say that we don't care about people, and we don't love people. We just want people to, you know, forget them. Who cares about them? And that's not true. My aunt's been a conservative her whole life, and a strong Christian, and she's been out there fighting the fight, trying to help people every day, providing money, you know, helping the shelters out, just being a staple for the whole community. And yet, you know, we get a bad rap as conservatives, Republicans, just because we are, you know, we love our guns and we protect the rights of the people, and we don't want welfare babies. We want people to be able to support themselves. That's what's the key. Let's support themselves. Government, see, people look to the government for help, but the federal government don't care about you or me. They just don't. They care about money. They care about getting your money, the taxes. And that's not the way it should be. They should be there to protect and defend our nation. And that's what their job is. Their job is to take care of foreign affairs and protect us. Yet we've given it to, they control finances. They control, welfare. They control Medicaid, Medicare. They control, all this stuff. We need to give it back to the states. That's what the states were there for. Give it back to the local communities. We need to come back together as a community. We need to work as a community. We need to work together. Stop looking to the federal government. They ain't going to do nothing for you. They don't give a crap. They don't even know who you are, other than a piece of paper and a number called your Social Security number. You go down to the welfare office and your local welfare office, they know you. They know who you are because they see you. You go down to WIC or, even your grocery store, your local church. We know you. We're your community. We're the people that are supposed to help y'all. We're the people that are supposed to be there for you. Stop looking for the government. Federal government ain't going to do it. State can help, but they're still so large that, they're covering millions of people themselves. Your cities are the ones that need to be doing it. And yet you got people like Sheila Jackson Lee that don't do jack for her community at all. Oh, she stands up there and gives a big speech every election year and for big cases. And if it's black or white, my gosh, get over the racism. It's done. It's over with. It was over with years ago, long before I was born. I was raised to treat people as they are. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Don't matter the color of their skin, they're people. Their blood is red just like mine. It don't matter. But Sheila Jackson Lee is all out there for doing stuff like that. And yet her community her area keeps electing her. I don't know why. Her streets are falling apart, potholes everywhere, buildings falling down, people still living in them. But, nobody cares. She don't care. And the city of Houston certainly don't care. It's just a shame. That's what it comes down to. You got some really good senators out there that are really trying hard to make things better, make things right for our community. And then you got those that just don't give a crap about the people. All they want is the money and the glory. They want to be able to stand in front of that camera just like Sheila Jackson Lee does. That's all she does, is stand in front of that camera. She don't give a rat's ass about that guy in the poorhouse, that guy living off the welfare in her community. She don't care about whether or not it's clean or not. My uncle-in-law, man, when my aunt first met him, I'd go visit. We'd walk into the building, and it was in Sheila's area. And you'd walk in the building, and first thing you'd smell is piss. Because someone came in drunk, peed all in the stairwell. The owner don't care. He don't go in there clean it up. He don't make nobody go clean it up. And it always smells like piss. Always. And that's what these people are living in, yet that's humane to her. I'm sorry, that is not humane. They want people to live off welfare because then nobody can say anything or do anything because they're now property of the United States government. But y'all are too busy trying to get free money instead of getting off your butts and going and working. Instead, you want to take government money, which is really our money. It's taxpayers' money. We pay for that. If you work, you pay for the welfare you get. So, you're living off this welfare, and all you can afford is this building over here that's in Sheila Jackson Lee's neighborhood, and yet, it's not even fit for kids to even live in. Not at all. And it's sad that we got people that live like this, and the congressmen in those districts just won't do nothing. Not a damn thing. It's so frustrating. It makes me mad. And I've gone back to school. I originally started out going for engineering, and I got in government because you have to take government, and ended up getting talked into switching my major to political science. And my wife's got a disability. She's had some sores, and the way she's been treated, the way we've been treated, both with the insurance and these providers that are getting paid, it's horrible. It is so horrible. It really frustrates me. And now I've switched. I hope one day to get elected. I'm starting local here. I'm working local, and I hope I could go federal one day. And hope that I can make a difference and make sure that people don't live in places like that. That we crack down on the homeowners or the building owners and say, hey, this is not livable. This is not acceptable. I don't want more taxes. I don't want more money coming out of our paychecks. I don't want big government, because they ain't going to do nothing for you anyways. VA screwed up. Man, boy, do I know about that. When I first got out of the military, man, they told me I couldn't even get VA benefits except for, housing and education. I couldn't get medical. I came out on my own reconnaissance. I wasn't medically discharged. I didn't retire. I just came out on an honorable. I completed my 6-year discharge. And they said, nope, you're going to have to pay money to have insurance with us. And I said, I can't do it. And I went without insurance for a long time. And then after this whole big scandal, what do? I get an email. Hey, we are so sorry. We're so sorry. Please come back. We want you. Be under us. I didn't have insurance. I knew I'd need it eventually. So what did I do? I signed up for it and I got it. I wish I didn't have to, but I'm running Uber for a living at the moment and going to school. And, I talk to people, hear things issues that they have. I listen. I go to my children's school, listen to the teachers and their problems that they're having. That's another subject for another day. Education is a big thing for me. I want my kids to have a good education and my grandkids to have a good education. And I don't want none of this liberal crap shoved down their throat, because all it does is it takes away their ability to critically think. They want everybody to be mindless drones, to go to work, do their job, make their money, and then take it all away from them. And then when you stand up for your rights to keep your money, they screw you even more. Government is not the answer, people. I respect the government. I've worked for the government. I will give my life for this country. And I will do my best to help this country when and if I get elected. But government is not the answer. We need to get rid of those in government that are just in it for the money and aren't in it for the people. Anyways, I've ranted enough. I thank you for your time. Hopefully you'll listen to me. I'm just now starting out these videos. A lot of things that I've got on my mind that I just haven't really been able to get out on video. And thank you. I appreciate it. And y'all have a wonderful night, a wonderful day.